So we just gotta speak first on the game plan that BJ was able to make.
That was an amazing play. He made a hell of a play. Like, for him to go out there and track the ball and tip it in like that, that was a great play.
What does it kind of say about him? You know, the steal on one end, catching the last one, and just what's it say about him?
I think I said it last game, like, he just does a lot of things that, like, we know he can score, know he can pass, but, like, he does things that, like, don't show up in the box score all the time. Like, yeah, it still does, but, like, he goes out there, he plays hard, he'll get an extra rebound, or he'll tip the ball to somebody, or, you know what I'm saying, he'll get a deflection. So, you know, we appreciate him because he does those things, and we know who he is as a person, as a basketball player, too. So, he's going to keep doing that and keep working on those things, and we appreciate it. So,
for both of you guys, what are you thinking as that play is going on? BJ, for you, as you're crashing, and Tyrese, when you're hustling back to block Mel?
For me, it was more just give Tyrese the ball and get out of the way. And I know he gonna make a play. You know, they sent a double team at him, but that's it. I know. I trust him. I trust him in the game online. Every given night, I trust him. So, I mean, I seen tonight. I don't know. Look, he got fouled. I would say it's a foul. Yeah, he got fouled. No call. So I tried the rebound. Just try to make a play, and then you know he made a hell of a play blocking the shot because he had a clean layup. And
Mel was not making that.
I'm not taking my chances. He had a clean layup, man. You know, reset probably around like a 4-2 or something. You know, sprinted, ran him down. So credit Tyrese, and he blocked it. By the way, he blocked it. You know what I'm saying? So he's probably the best shot blocking guard under 6'4" in the league.
Yeah, I just ran back. Just wanted to make a play and help us win that game. BJ scored it, so, you know, I just tried to get back and make a play on the ball.
Obviously, Tyrese, you would know we're close. No, we're so close. I mean, how was it for you to get on that last one?
Honestly, dude, I just didn't want him to call me in that couple minutes saying that he beat us. And, like, I'm just happy to see him out there, dude. Like, I told him, like, you know, he was at my house 2-3 hours yesterday just chopping it up and just talking about life and stuff. And I'm happy to see him out there. He's smiling. I told him I'd give him one jump shot because he was struggling early. I gave him one midi in the third. But I'm just happy that he was out there, man. It was good to see him. And I told him he can't guard me, so it's all good.
Tyrese, you're shooting a career high at the rim this season. I guess, what have you done, if anything, change, you know, your approach to the rim, your finishing, anything?
I think the biggest thing is because I'm willing to shoot some, like, mid-range shots, it, like, slows my pace down. So, like, it's a couple times I get in there, I'm like, maybe I'll shoot the midi this time, or floater. Going back to the floater kind of changed it. So, big kind of there in between. Like, okay, is he going to shoot floaters? Is he going to shoot layup? And that's kind of, like, helped me. And then just playing off of, like, 2 steps instead of always going right, or left. You know, using my Euros and my counters and using 2 feet when I get in the paint.
Jay, you obviously had steal before the putback as well. Just that awareness that you have on the defensive end of the floor, like, where do you feel like that comes from already as a rookie?
Just watching basketball, to be honest. And at the moment, I knew how much time they had to inbound the ball. And I know they had no timeouts left, and he had to throw the ball somewhere. And everyone was just convinced in that one little spot, and I just dove on the ball, to be honest. So it's just more reading their eyes. Because, you know, people tend to telegraph their pass a lot, so just try to read their eyes, and make a quick play on the ball.
BJ, you had that moment after the game where you did the jersey exchange with Buddy. What did that mean for Bahamas basketball, and did you get a chance to trash talk with him on the court?
It means a lot. You know, Bahamas basketball is growing. You know, credit to Buddy. You know, he play hard, fake defense that I tell him all the time. But I ain't talk too much. Kinda. We was barely on the court at the same time, you know, and he was out there guarding Reese, and he's getting cooked. Yeah, so, yeah.
BJ, you've been really consistent with grabbing offensive boards. What do you think has allowed you to bring that over to the NBA at this level?
I mean, I'm athletic. Just try to use my athleticism. You know, shot goes up, people tend to relax. I'm a victim of it. So I know it's the opportunity will present itself for me to grab the board. Like I say, I can jump, so I just try to get over, jump up before them, to be honest with you.
In the moments after the game, what does that feel like to make a game-winning bucket in the NBA?
It feels great. I felt like we should have won the game by a lot more. It shouldn't have come down to that, but it did. So man, it made it feel great.
Something Nick
Last one.
often praises BJ for is being able to make big plays in the fourth quarter, even when you're struggling. I guess first for Tyrese, what does that say about him as a rookie?
It's what he does. You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of, he has a knack for those things. He makes big shots, even when if he's struggling from the field. He's not scared to shoot big shots. We've seen that multiple times. I think that's one thing. And then next thing is, like, he's just a competitor, so he likes to win. And he wants to win at all costs. So whatever it takes for us to win the game, I know that he's going to make a play with his offense, with his defense. Today he made 2 plays. And that's just what he is. We know who he is. Coach made a great sub by putting him in the game late, just because that's what he does. You know what I'm saying? He just finds a way to win games for us, and we appreciate him for that.
And BJ, what's the mentality that you have to have for that?
Like he said, I just want to win. Like I said, whatever it takes for me to do that, I'll do it, to be honest. I don't care. I don't care about nothing else. If they need me to make a shot, I'll make the shot. If they need me to grab the rebound, get steal, get stop, I'll do it. Whatever it takes to win, because winning feels great and losing don't.
Joel, can you talk us through your perspective and your reaction to the VJ putback and then the Tyrese block to end that game there?
It was great, obviously. Both great plays. The block was amazing. I almost forgot we actually made the game-winning layup. I had to ask after. I was like, wait, who made a game-winning layup? That's how good the block was. But obviously, you don't get the block, unless, someone makes a play. And, obviously, extremely happy for VJ first game-winning shot. So that was big time.
When you look at what VJ was able to do there at the end with the game on the line, rookie stepping up and making big plays really on both ends, what does that kind of say though?
Yeah, you got a steal, and big steal, and obviously the game-winning shot. That just he's willing to do whatever it takes, whether shots are falling or not. Obviously, as of late, it's been a struggle, but he's also adding, a lot of different ways. So we just gotta keep going.
Nick said something. You seem to want to use your minutes earlier in the game. Could you just talk me through when to that? I think it was 17 of the 25 in the first half.
Yeah, I just think after last game I sat too long, and I think and that's happened in the past. Earlier in the season, sitting too long and coming back in the fourth. It just hasn't been it, whether it's physically, basketball. So, it's just until that, I'm able to, kind of bump that up or they allow me to play more. I think, I just gotta, not sit too long, just play basketball. And that's also the best way to get in a rhythm, because obviously being in and out, then, obviously not playing back-to-backs and, basically playing every 2 days. That's how we get in a rhythm. So the most minutes I can play in a row, the better.
Can you sense that you guys as a group are starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm, starting to play better and figure some things out a little bit?
Yeah, our defense was good today. For the most part, first week Warriors. Offensively, obviously, everybody coming back still, figuring out where everybody's supposed to be. It's just all it takes is a good run of couple games, and guys, being all of us being consistent, and we'll get there.
When you see what Tyrese has been able to do, just on the offensive end, he's found a historic run in terms of his scoring. How would you describe what he's been able to do out there?
It's fun to watch. I was just telling him, and I told him that, the last couple of years, and when I was on that scoring run, when you get in that moment, it just feels like the game slows down, and it just becomes easy. That's what it is right now. He just, every single time he steps on the floor, obviously he's playing a lot of minutes, so he doesn't have to force anything. Can let the game come to him, and you just go out and do the job. But he's in such of a good rhythm as far as making shots, getting to the spots, not rushing. I think that's the biggest key. That obviously him and his trainer Drew worked on this summer. Just always being on balance and not rushing. I think that was, for me, that was like my biggest thing that I told him. That's what he needed to get better at, and he's gotten better at, and I think that's what's, taking him to the next level.
You shared the floor with Barlow quite a bit this year. I'm curious what you've made of those minutes. He's sort of a different kind of player than you usually play with before.
Love it. All I gotta do is box out. I don't care about rebounding. Just box out my man or whoever is next to me, and allow everybody else to go get it. And he's one of those guys. Just his athletic ability, being able to rebound the ball and, doing the dirty work. And, you need that on the basketball team. And he's one of those guys, fits in perfectly with his role. That's great. But, I'm excited. He's just another athletic guy, that you can just let him, be himself and go get the job done.
Last one.
If Tyrese keeps this up and you guys keep winning, what kind of case do you think you would be making for MVP?
I mean, usually it's good, but usually for those awards, I don't think, based on my experience, I don't think it's the focus. We only 20 games into the season, whatever that is. I just focus on winning games, and if it happens, great. If it doesn't, who cares? But I think the job that he's been doing is gonna speak for himself. There's a lot of good candidates. He's up there. You got the Shays and the Jokic, and so it's fun. So I think, for those awards, it usually comes down to winning. So we all gotta do our part. He's doing his part and more. All of us, we all gotta do our part, and then that's how we're gonna keep winning games.
Both plays were a pretty good presence of mind by everybody, right? I'm glad. I mean, they ran a double at Tyrese. I'm glad he still took the shot. He created the shot. He's got to take those. He's the guy that's taking those. But I'm glad everybody else, crashed the glass like they're supposed to, and then. We watched it on film. There was 3 guys on a dead sprint back to try to make a play, and it was an incredible play by them with 0.8 to throw it there and let it bounce and not touch it. I mean, that was going to be a good basket. It was going to count with the way they made that. I mean, that's a heck of a play in that kind of situation. But Tyrese and I think it was VJ and Q were all on a dead sprint to chase it down. So it was a great pass by them, but a little bit better play by us.
Well, you just spoke highly of everything from that sequence. If you had to pick, what was more impressive? Edgecombe's crash of the board and put back, or Maxey getting back and blocking well?
Yeah, well, one doesn't matter without the other one. So VJ's putback's pretty big, but that's a highlight for a while for Tyrese with that block. Yeah.
When you look at what VJ was able to do, I mean, he clutched the game.
Yep.
As a rookie,
Yep.
have the heads up play to come up with the defensive play and crash the glass. Like, what does that kind of say about it?
Yeah, listen, he wasn't having a great night out there, I didn't think, and that's part of the reason we were using other guys. But it's kind of the same thing I thought with a couple minutes to go. Whether he's had some of these games where he just hasn't done much, and then down the stretch he, hit a big 3, get a big rebound, whatever. I just thought, let's go back with him and maybe he'll make a play. But he's got a nose for the ball, and he's got a nose for what's going on out there. So even though he's a rookie, he can make those plays.
What happened in the second half in terms of giving up the big lead? What went into that? You guys able to get your bearings?
Yeah, I mean it was a few things. I think that we had a little bit of funky rhythm just with the rotations and stuff. Tonight, I think a couple guys were just a little bit out of whack with that. I thought we committed a ton of turnovers, in about 3 or 4 in a row that were they were really easy passes that didn't even come close. Then we got tied up a couple times and lost both those jumps. I mean, so there's another couple turnovers. So I don't know how many turnovers we had in the first half. I'm sure one of you guys know, but it seemed like that 19 number there, it seemed like a lot of it was in the second half. So that's the biggest thing, and that just got them going. They got in the bonus super early in the third. That helped them. then I don't think they were going to miss shots all night long, right? I think they got some rhythm. They really started. They forced us to get into a switching game, which, looking back on it, I'm not sure we were doing the right thing there. But they were switching a sprint and post into the block, and they really had a rhythm of what they were doing versus the switching, and I thought we gave up the rim quite a bit in that bad stretch too. That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Going off of that, I guess, how do you balance congratulating your team on a win with also saying at the situation?
Yeah, I mean, I know you guys, like, you watch a lot of games, and there's a lot of games going on like this in the league, like a lot. Like, they were just in another one the other night where they were down 24, came back against OKC and took the lead by 4. I mean, you just flip the channels, and you're going to see this is kind of, like, the pace is so high, the three balls are going up, the offensive rebounding so high, the defensive pressure's gone way up. Like, it's happening. So, you know what? I'm going to absolutely congratulate them, man. Win is a win. You move on and try to get the next one.
Was Joel's minutes up, and if so, in the fourth quarter? And in the fourth quarter, how difficult is that as you're watching the lead go away to not be able to put him in the game?
He was right where we wanted him to be there tonight with the minutes, and didn't really give it much consideration. I think that we kind of it ended up tonight that there were some longer stretches. He'd made a couple comments that he didn't really want to cool down as much, and I was, okay, I'm with that. Let's let him go while he's still warm. And it really wasn't a consideration. I think the hard part is I think Drum's been playing so well, right? And I think Drum had a tough time getting a rhythm, and it's understandable, right? He's like really logging lots of minutes, and he's getting a lot of action, lots of boards, lots of rebound. He just didn't get in a rhythm with the subbing pattern early for him, and that was the hard one for me, because I kind of wanted to commit to him, considering his body of work, and then he just couldn't quite get going. And then we went to Bona. I thought did an okay job, right? He did an okay job. He went in there and got a putback right away and did a couple things, got his hand on some deflections and stuff. So it's good. I mean, that's what we're doing over there. We're trying to figure out which guys can make a play and which guys are in rhythm and all that kind of stuff.
VJ,
Last couple questions.
Alluded to a couple games where he struggled early and then made huge plays late. Do you as a coaching staff do anything different with a young guy like that to keep him up? Do you sense that any of the players maybe go out of their way to make sure that he stays up to be in that position mentally, to still be, even if he's struggling early?
I think that I think we were all way up on him in general, and I think that I say this too, like, a rookie's not going to play great all the time. You're going to have some real highs and real lows, and sometimes all within the same game. I just think, again, we put him in there, and just understanding that he's got ability to make a variety of plays, a block shot, a rebound, a put back, a bucket, a three. He can make a variety of plays, and we'd probably stay with that, whether he's a rookie or not, right?
Well, what did you make of Don?
It's great.
Did so many different things for you guys tonight.
Yeah, he was great, man. He just, like I keep saying, you guys, he just plays hard. He just does everything hard. He was really kind of our only source of rebounding, it felt like, for a while, right? So, they do a great job crashing the glass, and we're struggling to, with a little bit of a smaller lineup, to pull some of it out of there, but he saved the day on a number of possessions. Yeah.